Do you know why Czechs, when they speak in English, say so often, that's the way how to do something, with this how, which is incorrect in English? Well, of course, that's influenced from Czech. And today you're going to discover why that is. You're going to learn the way to correctly speak in English. I must admit that I sometimes make this mistake myself. Let's learn how Czechs say this construction. Jdeme na to. Ahoj! Vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. We're going to start with a simple sentence to understand how this construction makes sense in Czech. Let's first translate how to do it into Czech. Jak to udělat? Jak to udělat? Jak to udělat? In English you could say, I'll show you how to do it. Slightly more informal. Ukážu ti, jak to udělat. Ukážu ti, I'll show you how to do it. Jak to udělat. Simple, right? And then in English you can also have a slightly more formal way. You can say, I'll show you a way to do it. Ukážu ti způsob, jak to udělat. What's new here? We added the word způsob, just like in English. We added a way, except in English we removed how, because a way how, it's redundant. In Czech, however, it is necessary. You have to say způsob jak. We have to describe the way, and we can describe it with this clause. Ukážu ti způsob, jak to udělat. Or, in many cases, we can remove způsob and still keep jak. That is necessary. In Czech, we have to keep jak in the second part of the sentence. Now, I'm going to show you 8 different sentences in English that have the construction the way to or a way to do something, and how we say that in Czech. We have to find a way to do it. A way to do it. In Czech, we would say something like musíme najít způsob, jak to udělat. Musíme najít způsob, jak to udělat. Jak to udělat. A way to do it. Remember, in English, you don't say how, but in Czech, we have to say jak. Způsob jak. Způsob translates to a way. Sometimes we could also use the word cesta, which means a way, but it's more like a path. It would be an actual path, or a path that will lead us to a solution. So in some cases, it could be acceptable too. Způsob, however, is just abstract, a way, a manner to do something. Způsob, pronounced with s and p. Způsob. So it's spelled a little bit differently than it's pronounced. Způsob, jak. And the infinitive. Easy. What about the second one? We found a way to change it. So first, the past tense. Našli jsme. Now we have a way to, which you know, we will say způsob jak. That is a must. Okay, what else? Change could be změnit, and it would not be at the end, just like here. So jak to změnit. That would be one option. We could also say vyměnit, which is more like exchange if you were talking about something physical, like a part that you have to replace. Změnit is change as in modify. These sentences are kind of abstract so that you can use them in different kinds of situations. The same construction, našli jsme způsob, jak to změnit. You can also observe the word order, like I told you. First would be jak, then to, and the verb would be at the end. I'll show you the quickest way to do it. Now we know how to say I'll show you. Ukážu ti. What's next? Ukážu ti způsob jak. Způsob jak to udělat. We chose udělat, which is the perfective verb, assuming we want to know how something is done rather than how the process is. But it's not incorrect to say jak to dělat. That would be focused on the process. However, we don't have much context, so either way, udělat focused on the result, how something is done, dělat, the method, for example. Způsob jak. Let's read the Czech sentences together. Musíme najít způsob, jak to udělat. Našli jsme způsob, jak to změnit. Ukážu ti způsob, jak to udělat. I apologize, I just realized that I didn't say the quickest way in sentence number 3. So it should be nejrychlejší. Nejrychlejší způsob, jak to udělat. Now the structure changes a little bit, but we still have this core way to do something, and in Czech it will be the same. Způsob jak. Is there a way to fix it? We could use the verb to be, but in Czech we do like to use the verb existovat, to exist, to be. The something is somewhere. So this is the perfect place for it. Existuje. Existuje způsob, jak to opravit. Existuje způsob, jak to opravit. Is there, existuje, a way to fix it. This one will be very similar. Is there a way to avoid it? Now you know. Existuje způsob, jak avoid is a special verb. Wait for it. The verb to avoid is vyhnout se, and it takes the dative case. That means it will change our word order quite a bit. So first, because vyhnout se is reflexive, the se has priority. It will be on the second position, starting, this is position 1, jak, then it will be se, and then we have to say it, but it will not be to, because we need the dative case. Jak se tomu, that's the dative case for to, and finally we will have vyhnout, to avoid. Existuje způsob, jak se tomu vyhnout, but the core is the same. Here we could say cesta, because maybe we are asking for a specific way, a road, how to avoid this, how to avoid the construction on the road, for example. We could also add nějaký here, nějaký, which means some or a kind of. Existuje nějaký způsob, jak to opravit. Existuje nějaký způsob, jak se tomu vyhnout. I'm looking for a way to get there. I'm looking for, that's easy. Hledám způsob, jak, and then to get somewhere, that's dostat se. So it's actually the same thing. First is se. Jak se, then we would put there. Jak se tam dostat. Looking for a way to get there. Hledám způsob, jak se tam dostat. And cesta would be fine too. Cestu actually, because it is the accusative case. I'm looking for, hledám cestu, jak se tam dostat. In sentence number 6, we could leave out způsob. Hledám, jak se tam dostat. In spoken Czech, in formal Czech is fine. We cannot leave it out here definitely, because this is the subject. Let's read these together. Existuje způsob, jak to opravit. Existuje způsob, jak se tomu vyhnout. Hledám způsob, jak se tam dostat. This is a perfect exercise for word order as well. To and tomu, tam, all these are often on the second position because they are so short and there is no emphasis on them, so they should not be at the end. I'll give you 2 more examples of more complex sentences. That's why I don't want to write it on the board. It will be easier. We managed to find a way to diagnose this disease. We managed. We have different ways to say this. Máme několik způsobů, jak to říct. Podařilo se nám, this impersonal construction, podařilo se nám najít způsob, jak diagnostikovat toto onemocnění. Here we have toto onemocnění. At the end, we're putting emphasis on it. Well, it would be correct to switch it. We could say, jak toto onemocnění diagnostikovat. Depends what is it that you're emphasizing. Is it that how to diagnose this particular disease? Or is it how this disease can actually be diagnosed? And the last one, a quick way to remember this is through association. I'm actually not going to translate the through, it will be just is association. So a quick way. Rychlý způsob. What's after způsob? Jak. Rychlý způsob, jak si něco zapamatovat, another comma, je asociace. Rychlý způsob, jak si něco zapamatovat, je asociace. I think you've had enough training and now we could take a look at another 5 sentences which you will work on yourself. These 5 sentences are incomplete. Your task will be to translate the rest. And because I want to make it easy for you, the verbs that you're supposed to be using are here. You can choose from them. You won't have to think about what kind of verb you need to use. You just need to use them in the right form and the right tense. Pause the video while you work on these and let's check them now. Číslo 1. We will show you the best way to do it. Ukážeme vám nejlepší způsob, jak to udělat. Číslo 2. This is not the best way to express it. Tohle není nejlepší způsob, jak to vyjádřit. Vyjádřit means to express. Číslo 3. I can't think of a way to explain it. Nenapadá mě způsob, jak to vysvětlit. In informal Czech, it would sound more natural to actually leave out způsob. Nenapadá mě, jak to vysvětlit. Číslo 4. It's a good way to learn how to swim. Je to dobrý způsob, jak se naučit plavat. Způsob, jak se naučit plavat. Číslo 5. I guess there isn't any way to avoid it. Remember to avoid in Czech? Asi neexistuje žádný způsob, jak se tomu vyhnout. Perfect. I hope the practice before helped you. And now you will remember that in Czech we say způsob jak, the way how. So you cannot blame us when we say in English the way how to do something, right? Are there any constructions like these that you think are very strange in Czech? Let me know in the comments and maybe this will be a good topic for another video. Děkuju, že jste se dívali. Thanks for watching. Uvidíme se zase za týden. Čau, čau.